Hey everyone, it's Mary Catherine from Crochet Chic here. I wanted to make this video to show all my friends over at Fibermind how to make a quick, simple, and easy flower. What you need for this project is your crochet hook and your yarn. As long as the hook matches your yarn, you're good to go. Doesn't matter the type of yarn. We're going to start by making a magic circle. Now if you've never made one before, don't worry, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. We start with the tail end of the yarn. We put it like this. We're going to make an X with this end of the yarn is connected to the ball. If you do it opposite, it's not going to work. We're going to go under the first part of the X, turn our hook, so we grab the second part of the X, just like that. I twist it. It makes it easier to get it off my hand. Then grabbing the yarn that's connected to your ball, not the tail, we want to go ahead and pull through, do a chain. That's what secures it. So the cool thing about a magic circle is you can pull this right here and it's going to make it a lot smaller, or you can go like this to loosen it up. It's a lot better than chaining and joining because it just makes your project look a little bit more professional. It also makes it easier and you have less work at the end. So we're going to make just a basic, simple, small flower. We're going to start with a single crochet. Then we're going to do a half double crochet. Then we're going to do a double crochet. Then we're going to go back down in size and do our half double crochet. And then we're going to do our single crochet. Then we're going to do what's called a slip stitch, where we just no yarning over, just like this single crochet. Grab the yarn, and instead of yarning over, we're just going to pull it through that first tube, just like that. We're going to chain one. We're going to repeat this pattern over again for the next petal. We start with a single crochet, then we do a half double crochet, then we do a double crochet, then we do a half double crochet, a single crochet, and a slip stitch. As you can see, I have 2 petals so far. I'm going to go ahead and pull on this just a little bit to make it a little tighter. This is going to be a 3-petal flower, but if you'd like to do more, just go ahead and keep on going. So for our last one, after our slip, we want to do a chain. We're going to do our single crochet, our half double crochet, my yarn's getting tight, bear with me while I pull it. So we just did our single, we did our half double, now we do our double. Half double, single. We're now going to do our slip stitch. We're going to pull this tight. Just, you can pull it tighter so it curls, or you can pull it to about that tightness. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do another slip stitch in the top of this first stitch right here. And then what I do is I just break the yarn. Not all yarns will break that easily. You might have to actually use scissors. I'm always guilty of not getting the scissors. And then what we do is we pull this as tight as we want it. And make sure you tie a knot. If you do not tie a knot, it's going to completely come undone. You can leave the tail short like I did, or you can leave it really long so that you can attach it to something. So I've got my knot. This is this. We can weave it in or cut it after we knot it. And this is your simple chic cute little 3-petal flower, go ahead and make it within as many flowers or as many petals as you want. Put a bunch together. Post all your photos over at Fiber Minds. Let us know that you made it from the video. Thank you. Hi everyone, it's Mary Catherine from Crochet Chic. Today I wanted to make some how-to beginning guide videos for the beginning crocheter. I'm inspired to do this because I was just asked to be the crochet consultant for the amazing and wonderful group Fiber Minds. If you'd like to know more about the group, go ahead and leave me a comment or post below. You can find us on Facebook. It's a really fun group for not just crocheters, but knitters, loomers, cross stitchers, anything that has to do with fibers. We're there, and we're a fun group, no rules, just positive energy. So today I want to start with just showing you the basics. So what you need is your crochet hook and your yarn. For beginners, I don't recommend you start with anything below a 4-ply or a size G crochet hook because the smaller is a little more difficult. Right now I have a size G and a 4-ply, just your basic yarn. Especially if you're just beginning, you don't need anything fabulous, you know, just use whatever you have. What we need to start with is we need to make what's called a slip knot. I went off a little bit on camera, so I'll show you how to do that again. First, I want to show you the difference between a regular knot and a slip knot. A slip knot is called a slip knot because it can slip. As you can see, it can get bigger or smaller. So let's just pull it out. You wrap it around your fingers and you reach through, and then you have this little slip knot. Some people use their hook and pull it through. There's lots of different ways to make a slip knot. So what you then do is you put your hook in there. Don't make it too tight because you're going to have it slip right off your hook. So I start with it loose. You can always pull it later. What you want to do next is we're going to learn how to make a chain. So what you do is you do what's called yarning over. It's also written down in patterns as yo. Knitters use it as well. You take the yarn that's attached to the ball, not this tail. Do the tail, you're not going to be able to crochet something very long. So just hold this tail. I kind of hide it with my thumb so I don't accidentally use it. Take the yarn, pull it over. Then you pull through. That is your first chain stitch. So you just continue to do that for as long as what the pattern calls for. In a pattern, it will tell you to CH and then it will give you a number. If you're making a blanket, that number is going to be huge. I remember seeing patterns and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to chain that many. When you have to chain a large number of chains, it's always good to use a yarn marker or a stitch marker every 20 or so. That way, in case if you lose count, it's not the end of the world. As you can see, chaining, I'll show it to you slow again. You just take the yarn from behind, put it over, and then pull through. Now when you're first starting, it might look uneven or different odds. You basically want every chain to be the same size. As you can see, this one right there, because this yarn is a thick and thin yarn, it looks a little bigger. It doesn't really matter when you're first starting, just chain a lot. I tell my beginning students to sit there and while you're watching your favorite soap opera or TV program in the evening, just chain, 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 chain. Next, I'm going to show you how to single crochet. Now to start your first row of single crochet, in every row of single crochet, you need what's called a step up, which is the number of chains it takes to create the space for that stitch. Single crochet is the smallest stitch. So what we're going to do is it only needs a chain one. So this first chain right here, you can see because it kind of looks like V's. So what we're going to do is we're going to skip that one. That's going to count as our first single crochet. And we're going to go into here. Now there's different methods. Some people say you need to have 2 loops on the top when you stick your hook in. Others want the 1 loop on the top. I always do it where I have 2 loops on the top, 1 loop on the bottom. And so what you do is you just pull it through. I've got 2 loops on my hook. You're going to want to pull through both loops. Let me show you on the next one. Make sure you don't twist your chain because that's going to make it look very interesting. So the next one is right here. You stick it through. It's not going to want to go through, especially if you chain tightly. You can see again, I only have 2. If you have more than 2 or less than 2, you did not do it right. You yarn over and you pull it through both. And this is called a single crochet. It's also written down in patterns as SC. See, look right there, I only got 1 loop. Now, if that's the way you want to do it, you want to do it consistently that way the whole way out. Otherwise, it will look really funny if you do some with 2 and some with 1. So after you pull the hook out, you can tell your stitch will be a little bit stretched out. That will even out when you're at the end. So don't think that you've ruined the chain or anything, because that happens. Got my 2, pull it through. Got 2 loops on my hook. I yarn over, I pull through. If you notice, I put my thumb and my middle finger right here to hold it. I found that that's an easier way to keep your stitch where you want it to be and keep the chain straight. A lot of my beginning students really find that's very helpful. If you're new to crochet, everything's going to feel awkward at first. The important thing is just finding something that feels the least amount of awkwardness and going with it. And eventually it won't feel awkward at all. Okay, so this is what your first row of single crochet or SC would look like. But once we get to the end of the row, what we need to do then is remember the chain 1 I told you about for your step up. You need to chain 1 and then do what's called turning. So what we do is we just whoop, flip it over. And what we're going to do is we're going to skip the first one because the chain 1 counts as our space, or we can put one in there so we don't have what looks kind of like a hole. As you can see, look at this. Different crocheters tend to do it different ways. I always do the chain 1 and a single crochet in that first space because I like the way it looks better. Just when you start your next hole, you have to remember not to put an extra one. So what we'll do is then we'll just keep on going. And to crochet into any row except for the chain row, you want to make sure you go into the space. I'm going to lift it up real, kind of get a close-up view right here. As you can see, I have the V part of the stitch on the top. I yarn over, and then I pull it through both. Oops. Just like that. Again, we go through, we grab the yarn, we've got 2 loops, and we pull through. Okay, so this is 2 rows of single crochet. You can see it's a very tight stitch. It's not very holey. It's great for making dresses and garments. A single crochet though is, even though it's the smallest in crochet, is still significantly bigger than 1 knit stitch for my knitter friends out there. So next I'm going to show you what a half double crochet is. It's twice the size of a single crochet. It's one of my favorite base stitches to use because of the height it gives you. So it's a lot quicker than when you do a project in single crochet, but it's not holey, so you can still do garments. There are many ways to start your row. I'm going to show you the way that I do it. It kind of leaves less of a hole. What I do is I chain 1 for space, I yarn over, and I go into this first loop. I grab the yarn. This time I have 3 loops on my hook. What I want to do is I want to yarn over, pull through all 3 at the same time. And now for every other one, as long as it's not the beginning of the row, you yarn over, go through, grab it. You have 3 loops. Come as close as I can for you guys. And you pull through. Sometimes it will get caught on your yarn depending on the yarn you're using, and just kind of getting used to the feel. And as you can already see, it's giving me a lot more height. So I went ahead and finished the first and second row of half double crochet off camera so you can see what it looks like. As you can see right here, these are our tighter stitches, and then right here we get into a little bit of a bigger stitch. Next, what I'm going to show you is the double crochet. Again, with the double crochet, you can chain 3 as the height and then go to the next one, or you can do what I do, which is I chain 2, 1, 2, I yarn over, and I'm going to go into the same one. And so to make a double crochet is you start with 3 loops on your hook, just like the half double crochet, only what you're going to do is you're going to yarn over, pull through the first 2 only. Okay, now you should have 2 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over, pull through the last 2. creates a much taller stitch. So what we're going to do is we're going to yarn over and start the next one. So we go right here. We've got 3 loops. We yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 more. This is a very quick stitch because you get a lot of height really quickly. Just let you look and see what it looks like. Okay, so I just finished the second row of double crochet, and what you're going to do is you yarn over and then you're going to pull your tail all the way through. You're going to push it, and now it's secure. You cannot pull it out at all. I recommend that you keep this somewhere so that way as you improve you can look back on it and be like, wow, how much better do my stitches look now?